habari zenu, saseni, welcome. This is Women's View. Karibuni sana, and we are here. I am your host Shiro Wangige, and today we are here kama kawaida. We have a topic and lazima tutaigonga. And before that, I want you to feel so much welcomed. Nataka ukue tuned in like kabisa, because topic ya leo like inashika, and I really missed you since the last time. It was so awesome. Thank you so much for the comments zenye mlisend, mliandika. They were so nice, and it's always a pleasure when we come here, we have a talk, tunaongea, and then we get feedback, alafu tunapata pia proposals. It's very nice of you. Karibu sana. So today, before I begin, I want to give you, to tell you something, kind of a story. So there was this certain professor came into a class. He was teaching, and he told everyone to pick. He had some balloons, so he told everyone to pick some to inflate and to write their name on it. And then after that, they would wrap it so well wanaifold, alafu wanairusha kwa corridor or kwa hallway. And then professor akamix vizuri. Remember, the balloons zilikuwa zina contain jina ya every person. And then there were so many, because there were like 50 members in that class. And then after like 5 minutes, the professor told them, now I want you to stand up and go find your what? You find your balloon with the name on it. And then you can imagine 50 people kwa corridor moja, kila mtu anatafuta balloon yake. Akiguza hii inapotea. And nobody could find their own balloon, because there were very many zilikuwa zimechanganya hivyo. And then the professor told them, now I want you to suppose you pick the balloon next to you, you read the name on it, and then you hand it over to the owner. And then within 1 minute, imagine kila mtu alikuwa na balloon yake. So what is the lesson here? That you cannot make yourself happy, or you can't be happy when you're working for yourself. For us to be happy, and for the happiness to be all over, between us, within us, lazima tunaangalia happiness ya huyo mtu mwingine. When you help me, when I help you, that is happiness. It's not about us, it's not about me, it's about us. So I hope you learn something. It's about the happiness of others that will make you happy. So today, karibuni sana, we are talking about menstrual health management. Na siko peke yangu. With me, I have very beautiful ladies here who are here to give us something and also to tell us nini hiyo tunaongelea menstrual health management. Ladies, karibuni sana.
Thank you.
So maybe we need to know you. Let my viewer or our viewer wajue, who are we having on board? We start from here.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shiro Wangige, for such an amazing introduction. Hello, viewer. My name is Cindy Nyamolo, also known as Hebrew Woman. It's such a pleasure to be here as we unfold and talk more about issues that are affecting us as women, and that is menstrual health management.
Thank you so much. Karibu.
Thank you so much. Hello, viewer. This is Evelyn Achengakoko. I'm so happy to be here today, and I'm glad you've tuned in.
Thank you, Cindy. Karibu. Evelyn, karibuni sana. So, viewer, keep this conversation running. As we have it here, pia nyinyi nataka mkuwe engaged. Our social media handles, we are GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. Unaweza tutumia message, unaweza andika comment yoyote. We are here, lazima tutazijibu. So when we are talking about menstrual health management, what are we saying? What is that?
Menstrual health management basically is the process of women and adolescent girls, of course, those who are in their period stage, using clean menstrual products to absorb the blood during menstruation.
Sure.
Yeah, we understand that menstruation is all about, the shedding off of the uterine walls and blood tissues come out during that time. So that whole process of ensuring that you're using a clean menstrual product to absorb that blood, that is basically menstrual health management in a nutshell. Yes.
So when we are talking this, especially we are touching a woman and we are touching girls, because most of all ni cleanliness,
Yes.
ndio. And when you're talking about using the best or clean sanitary products zenye ziko zina kuserve better. What kind of sanitary products are we talking about? Yeah.
Is that directed to me or her?
Anyway.
All right. Okay, so when we talk about menstrual products, you know, we are talking about a lot. It's not just pads. We are having different menstrual products. We're having the tampons. We are having the pads. We are having the menstrual cups. We are having, so many. But commonly in our country, what is so common is the sanitary pad. And there are quite a number of people who use tampons. Yeah, it just needs basic knowledge and maybe how to use it and all that. So the common types of menstrual products that are being used within our country right now is the pads, both the reusable and the non-reusable, and even the tampons. Yes.
And kuna watu husema the reusable zinapea mtu infections. How is that?
Reusable. Do not agree with that. But it depends on how you use it. Like, you know, reusable pads need to be taken care of really well. Yeah, like for example, when you're using reusable pads, after using, there is how you need to clean it. Like you soak in water for about 15 minutes. Yeah, just to ensure it stays in its perfect state.
Water that is warm or cold?
Cold. You don't use warm water. You don't use hot water actually. You use warm or cold, not hot water.
You know, now when we are talking about this, I'm also thinking about the girls when you wako interior, kama mahali hakuna access kama town, si ndio ile interior kabisa like Wajir.
So that is even good for them actually because you will just use cold water and warm, no bleaching like jik or omo or anything. So that is even good.
Na
girls
sabuni?
in interior, yeah.
Unatumia sabuni kuiosha?
Kidogo too, not really a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe to add on her point, you know, when we are talking about menstrual products, basically, these are things that we are using on our vaginas as women. And our vagina is very sensitive. It has a pH that needs to be maintained.
Yeah.
If it's altered, it's exposed to infections, to irritation, to UTIs. And that is where your question comes in of why do people complain of irritation when they're using a reusable sanitary towel? The whole thing is they don't really have the right procedure of using it. Like she has said, we don't need to use, detergents in this thing because these detergents are made up of chemicals.
Yeah.
Chemicals are not supposed to be exposed to our private organs. If we expose our vaginas to soap, to detergents, to omo, to jik and all that, it's likely to make it more vulnerable to UTIs and all other sorts of yeast infection and all that. And then another thing, it needs to be aired. You know, the girls who, they will put it on when it's still wet. You know, it hasn't received enough sunlight, enough heat. It's not dry. So because of that dampiness, it's likely to even cause a bad odor, irritation, and all that on our vagina. Yes.
I think it's not, you know, like you said, they don't have the good information on how they're supposed to, the procedure.
Exactly.
Yeah, because like when we are talking about reusable, they are very like accommodative when it comes to watu wenye kule mashinani kabisa. And tukiangalia, like before even we go that further, there is this girl named Dogo, because I believe you have an organization, and sometimes when they start their menstruals, it becomes one ni kama esteem inaenda chini, and then they also don't understand so well, even if they are taught kwa syllabus zao, they are never taught ile deep, like now this is how you take care of yourself. So as an organization, how do you pick on kids like that kaledi mwenye ako adolescence and now she has started turning on to menstruation?
Awesome. Actually, to begin with, sex education, reproductive health talks. These are things that needs to be instilled to a child as young as 3 years old.
3 years?
Yes.
What are you saying?
What I'm saying is this.
Sex,
exactly.
3 years?
Yes.
Okay.
When you have a child, at the age of 3 years, at the age of 3 years, your baby already knows to hold his penis. He already knows to hold her vagina. He already knows. And you know, the parents who bathe with their children in the bathroom, definitely. Sometimes you want to bathe and you're there with your small girl, you're bathing, you're washing her alongside washing yourself. She sees, not that she's blind, she's seeing. And because the child has a very clear mindset, then she's likely to see that which she has already seen your vagina at the age of 3, she has already seen your breasts. So if you don't, talk to her at this age, it will be hard to have this conversation once she's of age. Why? Because even right now, we have internet, we have cartoons, we have everything. The moment you're giving a child your phone, at the age of 3 years, our babies are using phones, you know. You don't know what content she's getting there. This is a cartoon that is made in a form of a woman, and he has boobs, and he has all that. So this sex talks are, it's something that needs to be instilled in a child at the age of 3 years, even behind, even like mapema. Because why do I say so? Mtoto akiwa 3 years, wewe unamwambia ini koko. Unaona? You don't want to call it the way it is. You don't want to call a spade the way it is. Unamwambia, this is not a koko, this is a penis. Let him know this is a penis, this is a vagina. These are your breasts. These are your private parts no one should touch. Why? If this child grows with this mentality that ini koko, aende shule, he's abused sexually, even with a teacher or with colleagues, she will not open up to you. Why? Because she doesn't know that this is a penis, this is a vagina. If somebody touches me, it should not be right. You understand?
Now I get your point from your angle where you're coming. Like, they need to know these are private parts.
Exactly.
And nobody, like, ni private. Naelewa jina private.
And he knows the name. Don't sugarcoat it. If this is a glass of water, Shiro, it's a glass of water. It's not a plate.
And just to
we are many anyway. I'm talking on behalf.
And just to add on what she's saying, I think this sex education topic should not just be left for the teachers.
Exactly.
I feel parents should be the first teacher of their kids, so they can normalize talking about these issues, these things, so it doesn't become something new, you know.
Oh, now I get. So that huyu mtoto kutoka akiwa mwanzo anajielewa.
Anajua. If you come and touch her inappropriately, she will come and tell you, Mom, teacher alifanya hii. Alinishika hapa. Alinishika hapa. Alinishika hapa. She will have that confidence. But the moment you're trying to tell a child that, you know, this is your koko.
They don't even know what is koko. Like,
exactly. That is what you refer to it. This is your koko. This is your koko. You know, she will grow up with that stigma of she doesn't even have the confidence of speaking it out. She will be abused, but she can't speak it out because if you as a mother, you cannot even say the name. So how is she going to open up to you and tell you that, you know what, Mom, that guy did this to me?
And even to boys now, you know, most of the time I hear that. And maybe when you're bringing it into this angle, I also feel you are bringing it in that. Pia ikifika time ya menstruation, ni mtu atakuwa na kueleza. Alafu kwa ile yenye, some girls, they don't even understand. Why is this happening? So ailewi mbona ni nini na happen. So if anajua jina koko, anasema koko ni kama.
Because parents are not so, you know, free with their kids. They don't say these things out bold and just calling a spade a spade. I think that's why.
We really need to have real talks. You know, what I insist on to every viewer, I insist on having real conversations with our children. Like she has said, it's unfortunate that in our current society, we have left for teachers the roles of parenthood. We have left the internet the roles of parenthood. I mean, nowadays, you don't have a relationship with your baby. Somebody else has. This child will not grow up in the ways that you as a parent, you have nurtured her. He will go to school. I mean, teachers have a lot to take care of, you know, studies and all that. In a class, you know, the population is 100, the teacher is 1. You don't expect that teacher to have a rapport, a direct talk with your child. It is your responsibility as a mother to start these conversations as early as you can. You know why I insist that early? Because at that early stage, a child has already known she has already known that goodness. I am different from her. I have a penis, she has a vagina. They see. I mean, they even see when you're washing their sisters, right?
Yeah,
If you
they
have a
do.
boy, they will see when you're washing their sisters. Some of us, we bathe with our children in the bathroom. They see. So if you don't create this relationship and this conversation with them, they are likely to be stigmatized. When they come of age, you know, they are likely not to open up. Things will be happening, and it's like they're happening by surprise.
And that is why sometimes their esteem goes very
Exactly.
low.
Yes.
Especially when now they start, you know, there's always this thing, especially when someone is in school and now menstrual has hit, they are now the side of boys and the girls. And the boys, they seem to be intimidating sana girls. Why are you people, like they even want to show them how dirty they are.
Yes. Because these are conversations that we have not really have with our children. I mean, menstruation, I say this 1,000 times. We are all periods. We are all, I mean, we are all products of missed periods, both males and females. So this is a conversation that should not be sidelined to women only, to girls only. Boys need to voice themselves as well. Because how did he come to existence? Her mother missed a period and the mother was pregnant.
Okay.
I mean, so these are conversations that should be normalized across all genders. Let it not be like the whole conversation is on girls, you know. And
yeah,
the
because
reason
it seems to be
exactly,
a girl's
a
topic.
girl topic.
Unawaita pale nyuma ya
Exactly.
tent and you have to let them know, sasa, it's menstruation and this.
Exactly.
And you don't even want the boys to overhear you
And
talk.
we forget that these boys will one day be fathers of children who are women,
Yeah.
girls.
How will they bring
How will
up?
they bring them up their children? Does it mean that now when your child is of age, your daughter is experiencing her menstruation, you have to take her to an aunt or your grandmother or your mother if your wife is not there?
But you know, most of them, they're just, you know, kuna ile anajua, it's obvious, you know. Unajua,
Assume.
ana assume to, it's obvious, you've been in school, you've been taught. So kama ni msichana, kama ni anakaa na babake, and you know, there are ladies to girls who are closer to their dad, they wanakuwa na ile uoga kwa sababu vile umesema tu, we need to start talking to our kids when they're still young. Anashindwa, how will I start telling dad? Ni kama nasikia hivi.
Yeah, because she doesn't have that relationship with the dad.
And that is why now they start taking the wrong, like vile umesema, they don't know how to use their sanitary towels during that time because alihide, hakuna mtu alitoka kumwambia.
And unfortunately, our girls started nowadays, you know, with the whole issue with hormones, environment, the food we eat. There's some girls who start experiencing their periods early, very early. Personally, I started my period when I was in class 6.
That's too early.
Yeah, class
so if
6.
You don't have
and I didn't have that basic knowledge. I didn't have that basic direction. I didn't know anything. So, you know, the moment a parent is assuming that the teacher has already taught a child about menstruation, he's losing the mark.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in primary, you, apart from maybe those moms who are sharp, at least you have a pad, starting from class 6, anakuwekea kwa
For emergency.
yes. There are some wenye wakistart, they don't even know where to start.
Exactly.
Should I go tell my mom? Where should I start? And then they start messing all over the school, and even teachers, the way you are saying at education, your teachers, sometimes teachers don't even support those girls.
Yeah, and it's not just about teachers, you know, all parents. That is why it's also good to have, you know, parent-child relationship, so that when you're staying with your father, at least you can go back home and tell daddy, ni hivi, na hivi, na hivi. You can know where to start a conversation from. You know, when you don't have that relationship, that is when now unajifinya, you don't know how to go about it and all that. And then back in school, parent is assuming that the teacher took that responsibility. And in school again, teachers are assuming that the parents are, you know,
And the whole cycle continues. Because even these teachers, you know, the other time we had statistics and we had teachers who were also experiencing period shame. You know, the teachers who, they also, this is not an issue to do with just teenagers, even us, our age, and even our mothers. Some of them experience, I mean, the shame around periods, you know. So they feel maybe handling a lady who is in her menses is not quite easy as the society may think. You know, maybe she's having fibroids, and you know, when you're having fibroids, you're overbleeding. You know, sometimes she has also stained her clothes. She also needs somebody to, talk to her. You get. So this is a collective responsibility that we call upon each and every one of us to voice him or herself. It is not a thing for teachers. It is not a thing for parents. It is not a thing for mothers. Even the male, you know, should come on board, because one time as a young man, you will be having a daughter. As a young man, you have sisters. Maybe your mother will not be there that time, and you're older than your sister, and your sister has started her period at that early age. How will you help her if you yourself as a man, you don't know how to even put a pad on a panty?
Yeah.
How will you help
You
her?
mean they need to learn to do
They
that?
need to know, yeah,
Now-
because it's not a sin. It's something natural. It's something natural. We cannot, goodness, we cannot run away from nature.
You know, when especially you are talking about women now, let's come to women. Sometimes some women experience very painful periods sometimes, especially when you're saying they having fibroids and heavy, and it becomes even hard kutoka kwa nyumba. So inakuwa ni shame, and then there's always this thing, is not like si responsibility ya mwanaume. Unaona? The man is just ako tu.
Yeah, and when we talk about actual responsibility, we say it's a collective responsibility. So personally, I feel even the government should chip in, because I see there are free, you know, condoms around being distributed, but there's nothing like free pads. So I feel the government should really think about that and see how to go about it. Yeah. Because sex is a choice.
Yeah.
But now menstrual is not a
It's
choice.
not a-
It's nature. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Government
So-
should think about it.
Yeah. I feel
For sure.
that.
I also
Actually,
feel that.
actually they would have thought about it even yesterday.
Yeah,
They're already late on time.
In fact,
Even before they implemented the condom thing.
exactly.
I mean, honestly.
By the way, hata wanafaa kwa washroom za ladies
Nakwambia.
waeke pad.
Exactly.
Kwa
to be
men
having
waeke.
Condoms.
We need to
Yeah.
be having. We
Why
need
am
to
I
be,
campaigning?
to be having? Pad dispensers.
Exactly.
You see the way we are having condom dispensers.
Dispensers.
We need to
There
be
should be
having
pad dispensers.
everywhere, everywhere, be it on the bus stations, because we will not assume, goodness, 60% of women do not have menstrual products in our country as we speak.
60%.
60% cannot afford. They're still using rugs, they're still using feathers, they're still using Gazette magazine, they're still using leaves.
I didn't know.
Very many marginalized communities. I mean, even in this century, when a lady is experiencing her menses, she will not go to school because she doesn't have a sanitary towel. I mean, she'll be told, we endo kae pale kwa ile nyumba hadi malize. They still cannot afford. They still cannot afford menstrual products. That is the painful reality.
Yeah.
Cindy, you know what? We need to come back. You girls, you need to explain and tell us. Iyo sasa, inakaa stigmatization by the way, si ndio? And those bizarre situations zenye tuna, like, iyo misi kujua ati hata people use magazines. Or rather, that, you know, it's a very big percentage. 60% is very big
60%,
percentage.
yes.
And now I can feel it when you're saying that they need to bring up your forum ya free sanitary
Exactly.
towels.
Exactly.
So let us take a very short break, kindly, and then we want to know is those deep things that ladies go through during their menstrual time. Sindio? So viewer, I hope you're keeping you are keeping up with this conversation. Let us take a very short break and then come back and continue with this interesting topic. Thank you.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, karibuni sana. Tuko hapa tumerudi, and still we are talking and learning more about health yenye inakuaga kwa menstrual time or during our period time, because I understand sahi that people are going through some challenges zenye sisi hatujui. You know, sometimes we feel it's not my responsibility to know whether another sister is going through hardship or what. You just taking care of yourself, and sometimes taking care of yourself not in the right way. So we're having ladies here. She's Cindy, she's Akoko, Evelyn, and ndio wanatupeleka through this conversation that we're having about menstrual health management. Before we went for that short break, we wanted to know, you know, what are those challenges, hizo zenye ziko deep, like the way you're saying some are meant even or are told to stay in a room until their cycle is done. What are more challenges that we people don't know now that you have an organization that especially deals with girls during that time?
You know, period poverty, as we call it, period poverty is a menace, a monster. You see, like, people have national, days for cancer, for whatever. Period poverty is one disease that we need to find ways of curbing. We do celebrate the Menstrual Health Management Day on 28th of May, but I feel this is a practice that needs to be there. Because like I mentioned before the short break, 60% of the women live without sanitary towels. Why? Because over 50% of Kenyans, average Kenyans, cannot afford basic needs. They cannot afford food. They cannot afford shelter. We have street families, they live in the streets.
Yeah.
And I think people are forgetting that pads is a basic need. Like she said, people can choose to have sex or not to have sex.
Yeah.
But no one can choose whether to have menses or not. Even if you want to get pregnant right now to avoid menstruation for 9 months, immediately
Inakuwa
it will
hapo.
come back in double portion, you know, so you still need it.
Yeah.
You get. So there is a lot of, poverty among our girls and women. We have been in the forefront to advocate for, you know, the reusable sanitary towels, especially for the marginalized communities and those who cannot afford the non-reusable pipes, you know, because averagely we have families who the breadwinner of the family, he earns 200 shillings in a day,
Or even
So,
100.
even
you know?
100.
Yeah.
So what is a necessity to this family?
It's
do they
food.
buy food or do they buy pads?
It's food.
And that is where you will get sex for pads coming in. A lady will go have sex with a man in order for this man to do what? To buy her pads. In a month, in a year, the lady will have sex how many times?
12 times.
12 times, because men's is something that is monthly. 12 times, and you are still trying to curb teenage pregnancy.
Oh my God.
So we are in
And
a
there are
very
those now dangers of STIs
Exactly.
too.
Yes.
So it's, you know, you're bringing it out as a situation yenye imehit, yenye we should now be aware that it's not only about women for sure, the way you were saying, because if even a person, because yeah, I've seen or heard such cases where girls sleep with men just to be catered for
Exactly.
pads ndio aweze kuenda shule kesho. And these are small girls, and not even girls, even women.
Yes.
You know, they ni kama trading. Anyway, it's like,
Barter trade.
yeah, it's painful, and even how people assume.
Yes.
Hiyo ni maneno ya wanawake, I don't know. And even using the clothes, you know, and even the way you are saying people use gazette. And pia hiyo maneno ya kufungiwa. I also see kama anafika mahali anajua in 1 week in a month nafungiwa mahali. Just imagine the psychology of that person. One, si anajichukia.
Exactly.
So what are more psychological challenges that come within your period?
Just to add on that, that's why we say government should chip in, because there are organizations that, you know, visit girls, talk to them, mentor them about these things. But like us, for example, when we go for some mentorship programs, we carry some, you know, some token for the girls, like pads, and then, you know, your house cannot accommodate everyone. So once you know that once you give the girl the pad, she will be like looking at you, you know, like what next after this? This is not enough.
It's
So-
only one.
Yeah, it's only one. It's only one. So they will be like, what next? This one will help, yes,
What
and
do I
then
do
what
next
next after
month?
that? So I think we should look at long term.
Yeah.
And that is why we are
where the reusable sanitary comes in.
how many can we use and for how long?
sustainability.
That is why she's talking about reusable pads, because this one you can use like 4 in a year.
4.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah.
And you're okay, no, like the way people complain about ni kama inaweza, you know, even people are
It's
fearing.
mentality. You know, most people who talk about the reusable sanitary towels, they haven't tried them. Personally, I've used reusable sanitary towels, and I will highly advocate for it to be implemented. You know, because number one, it is sustainable. It is something that if you give we call it a dignity pack. If I give a girl a dignity pack, this is something that is gonna push her through the entire year. She will never miss school because of lack of sanitary towels. She will never have sex with a man
Just
for her to get sanitary towels. She will never have period shame because she has stained her uniform. Because every single time she's on her menses, she's covered. And every single time we even distribute the sanitary towels, like we have been doing a lot of community dialogue even in Homa Bay, in counties outside Nairobi. We give them a manual of how to use it.
Wow.
You know, we teach them. This is your panty, put it like this. Soak it for 15 minutes in cold water. Let it not be too hot. Do not use detergent, do not use soap, do not use Omo. Air it in the direct sun. Let it not be damp. I mean, after every 3 to 5 hours, change it. You have 4, change it. This one that you've removed, pack it very well. Put it, we give them bags to actually put the one that has already been used. Carry it home. Over lunch hour, soak it. You know, wash it very well. By the time you're using it again, it's as clean as it was when you first used it.
Wow.
You know, so what is missing in our generation, in our society, is the basic knowledge and sensitization on the use of these menstrual products. Because trust me, I will insist and I will say 60% of women, statistics have it, 60% of women still, as we are talking today,
They're struggling.
Still today, they cannot afford sanitary towels.
And that's quite a high number.
And it's a challenge that, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. Listen, even the non-reusable pads, the Sunny Girl, the Soft Care, the Always, go to the slums. Girls reuse them. They'll reuse them. They reuse them, sadly. They will use it. They will not dispose it because she only has 1 packet. And some have heavy flows. They may end up flowing for 7 days. A packet has around 7, 8. Where is she going to get the rest? She will use it, she will wash it, she will air it, and mark you, it's a non-reusable sanitary towel. And we're exposing our girls to a lot of infections.
Yeah.
By the time she's of age, I mean, it's too much. Too much
She's ni
trauma.
mtu amekuwa na infections
Exactly.
now and then, and they're girls, and again, you know,
Yeah.
if a girl feels like it's like feeling pain or something uncomfortable down there, they don't want to expose, because one thing about parents, when they come complaining like ni kama ninasikia hivi, and then they assume you had sex, you know, umeanza kufanya hivi without even knowing menstrual management ni ndio poor. Wow, I did not even know. Like, I feel you're advocating so much on reusable.
Yeah,
Because one, they're clean. You are assuring us they're clean.
Yes.
Are they expensive?
very expensive.
Like for that pack, you've said 4.
Yes.
In a pack, how many are they?
One, it's very expensive because we really don't have many people who are making them in the country. So many times, even during our programs, we have to get them from out of the country. We have a lady with an organization in Uganda. She's called Pads for Her. She makes the reusable sanitary towels. The next time when we are on set, we will carry samples.
Yeah.
So that
Next time
we
you
see.
should.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I also
They are
feel
expensive,
tunafaa
by the way.
kuziona.
They're very expensive. They are more expensive than the normal part, but their sustainability is top notch.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, because I feel kama inaweza kaa for 1 year, then we can curb this poverty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's something we can even manage. Because if you unasema mtu ana reuse hizi sunny girl always and whatever, we would rather go for these ones which even seem more healthy.
I personally use reusable sanitary towels. It has never had side effects on me because I adhere to the guidelines that should be there. You know, generally, even if you use a normal pad and you don't use it hygienically,
You'll still
you
have
will
infections.
still irritate, you will still feel the irritation, you still have the infection.
Now that you've talked about that, let's come to women. Some women have very heavy bleeding periods, and most of them complain of the sanitary towels, the non-reusable, zinawachoma, zinawafanya, yani it's not very comfortable. Is it that they do it not the right way, or rather, how should we use them?
Awesome. Basically, there is a lot of hygiene that should be there before and even after menstruation and even during menstruation. Number one, your cleanliness as a woman. I mean, how often do you wash yourself? I mean, how often do you bathe during your menses? Yes. Period blood is not dirty blood. That is number one thing we always insist on when we are talking about period positivity. You know, we want people to take pride in their periods. The moment you say that this blood is dirty, somebody doesn't want to associate herself with that process of menstruation. Period blood is not dirty, by the way. It's just tissues and the inner lining of your uterus coming out in form of blood. I mean, if it doesn't come out, it's a beautiful baby.
Yeah, then it's something beautiful.
It's a beautiful baby. So the baby you're seeing right in front of you, that is your period that was missed. So is she beautiful or is she ugly?
She's very beautiful.
Exactly. So that is periods. I mean, periods are not dirty.
It's no shame.
There should be no shame around it. So clean yourself well, very well, down there. Don't do it thoroughly. Si bahali pa kusuguliwa na brush. Yeah, and that's when we tell them, si mahali pa kusuguliwa na brush. No.
Ama kale kagunia.
Ama kagunia. Just a soft piece of cloth and water. And by the way, avoid soap, avoid scented whatever, avoid all that. Your vagina, like I told you, it has a pH that needs to be maintained. And the moment you're exposing it to soap, to sijui what, nah. Just a piece of cloth. And by the way, me, I don't know how you girls do it. Personally, Mimi, what I used to wash my vagina is not what I used to wash my face. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, ndio ile talk yenye,
Yeah,
we like, don't use detergents.
Yes.
Don't use soap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Usitumie
clean water.
kagunia. Unajua what you're saying first as you started. I love the way you started, how you picked on it. That our periods are not dirty.
They're not.
There's no shame on that.
Beautiful.
Like umesema, the way you are relating, if you missed them, then there is a beautiful baby.
Exactly.
That is how beautiful your menses are.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you brought the issue of don't wash with soap because what usema, I feel dirty, unaona, and then they associate with menses are dirty. Sasa atatumia ile sabuni strong.
Yeah.
Even some have sabuni during menses. Ile strong, especially scent wise, and pia anatumia, anasema pofu ijae, then ndio anafeel ako clean. So we've been doing it wrong all this time.
Yeah, so the soap, the detergents, the bleach, it's not necessary. And then I was just feeling, if you're having these light cramps, I was just feeling maybe you can do, you know, some exercise, some yoga. And then if you're having heavy, if you cannot take it, then that is where now the doctor comes in. You know, you don't just take painkillers. Actually, it will reach a point when your body now is used to the drugs, so it will not even respond anymore. Yeah, so I feel if you're experiencing such, then you can seek medical help.
If your bleeding is heavy and so painful, you seek medical advice.
It's a condition. it's not normal. You know, maybe we didn't mention before that we have regular and irregular periods. That is a condition, overbleeding. When your normal time for period is 3 to 7 days, when it goes beyond 7 days, it's abnormal. Normal milliliter for normal periods is 30 to 35 ml. Hiyo yenye
How
inakuwa
will you
pad.
know?
You will know at the pad. Utaona within 1 hour, utaona pad yako imejaa kiasi gani. Kuna watu pad yao hujaa within 10 minutes. It's heavy, it's soaked. You know,
So
it's
that's not
80
very
ml.
normal.
Yes, that is not normal. Just go for medical.
Yeah, at least
Don't
you know
wait.
what is
Yeah,
happening
at least
with
to know what's
you.
happening before you do something which is not necessary.
Yeah, and thank you so much actually for even explaining how we should do it, how we should bathe. And vile umesema, the towel you use down here is not the towel.
Yeah, me I don't mix. Kwanza my face is sensitive because it's smooth. And then I also
Yeah,
don't
it
want.
is.
And then I don't want.
Are you seeing these girls?
I don't want infections down there. So just a small, a clean piece of cloth down there with water is enough. Yeah. Shave that place. I mean, quit to start. So you don't have to struggle.
Hapo sasa,
Shave.
usistruggle.
Usistruggle. I mean,
na kukwama
there are people
kwama
who leave their hair and kama they are putting dreadlocks. That is part of the menstrual hygiene that we talk about. Shave
Shave.
your pubic hair. I mean, what are you doing with it? Okay.
And just remind them how we clean ourselves after calls, you know.
I mean, we need to just maintain the highest level of hygiene as women. And these are topics that even fathers need to know. Yeah.
Yeah, they need to know so they can sit their kids down, their daughters, and tell them.
Exactly.
Wow. This turned out more beautiful than I even thought and more informative because mi nimeelewa kitu moja. Tusitumie sabuni na we do it the right way. Actually, even I'm loving her idea. You use different towels. Ndio sio yenye inasugua huku na huku ndio. Where should we start? Here or here? Ama ni vile tu unataka?
Venye, for kila mtu na formula yake, we have many ways to kill a rat. Sindio, the people, they'll go to the bathroom, they use a shower, so they want to start with their face.
So bora you kill the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. I'm loving it. And kindly tell us something we don't know about your organization and how we can reach you. Know. I feel this conversation has been very short, but because of time, wacha tufikishe hapo. I would love you to come kwa hii show. We exploit more yenye hatujui, si ndio? And you bring us those reusable pads and then we see tujue na kama wewe uko nazo mi pia naweza taka kujua ama kutumia.
So not just the pads, we'll bring the pads and the panty and demonstrate everything.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I know you'd also love that. So how can, what don't we know about your organization? What is its name? Actually, hata hatujui inaitwa aje.
So we are from Lampara, Kenya. Lampara means light. Lampara is a Spanish name for light. We believe we are the light of this world. Our light will not go dim when we light other people's candles. And our mission is bring back the smiles.
Wow.
One amazing thing about our organization is it is not just for women only. We have men on board because we are trying to, keep period talk to be all of us talk. Menstruation is all of us talk. When we go to mentorship, we don't just focus on the girls. We have boys that we need to mentor so that they can live with these mentored girls, you know.
Give them peace.
Yes. Because the moment you're mentoring a girl and you don't mentor the boy he's going to live with, you're doing zero work.
Hakuna mahali unajisaidia.
This man will get into marriage, he's not empowered. This lady will struggle all her married life.
And then I can see when we are talking even with the boys, how we are bringing men who are caring.
Exactly.
Wow.
So in Lampara, we don't just do menstrual health management alone. We do a lot of stuff. And we even have programs for communities as well. So we even handle anger, street kids, you know, empowering women and all that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how can we reach? Tuseme mtu ako hapa anataka reach out, ajue more, learn more even on other programs that si yenye tu tumeongelea hapa.
Yeah, you can reach us at our social media pages on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook at Lampara Kenya, or send us an email at lamparakenya@gmail.com.
Wow.
Yes. All social media platforms, Lampara Kenya.
Do you have a physical address?
Not really. Yeah, but
Okay.
because we are, I mean, based all over, I mean, not like, we are not confined to a specific region.
You want to reach out to
We
every
want to reach out to
girl
every girl
and boy.
within the country.
Wow. And then if maybe I want to join to be a member, you see, I've seen Cindy, I've seen Coco. I love what they do. I would want to be in that organization. You accept?
Yes, we accept.
Wow. That's so nice. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here. It's a pleasure. Thank you for even accepting my invite. It has been nice. I hope to have you again on board. Even if we are talking about something different, I feel you have so much information that the world need to know. Yeah, so viewer, we've come to the end of our conversation. Imekuwaje? Have you left a comment there? You have to comment, you have to add. Kama ni compliment, kama ni just say something, maybe your experience, how you also vile umeelewa the conversation, just put it down there. Our SMS line is 21144. Our social media handle, we are GBS TV Africa. I've been your host, Shiro Wangige. Until next time, bye.
Adios.